Have you ever been driving down the road, maybe in your sensible sedan, and you see a massive, brand new top-of-the-line truck pull up next to you? And you just think to yourself, how on earth does everyone afford these 60, 70, $80,000 vehicles? It feels like they're everywhere. Are people just secretly millionaires? Did everyone win the lottery except for you? Well, the answer is a lot more complicated and honestly, a bit concerning. Today, we pulling back the curtain on the financial engineering and psychological tricks that make these expensive trucks seem affordable. The truth is, most people aren't really affording them at all. They're just trapped in a cleverly designed system. Let's break it down. First up, the biggest enabler, the incredible stretching of loan terms. Not too long ago, a standard car loan was 3 or maybe 4 years. You made your payments, and in a relatively short time, you owned the car outright. But today, it's common to see loans that are 6, 7, 8, and even up to 10 years long. The dealers love to focus on one thing, the monthly payment. They'll ask, what can you afford per month? By stretching the loan out over 84 or 96 months, they can make a $70,000 truck look surprisingly manageable on a monthly basis. But here's the catch. While your monthly payment is lower, the total amount you pay over the life of the loan skyrockets because you're repaying interest for a much longer time. More importantly, this almost guarantees you'll be in a state of negative equity for years. That means you owe more on the loan than the car is actually worth. Trucks depreciate the second you drive them off the lot, and with a long loan, your payments are so small initially that they don't even keep up with the depreciation. So for the first few years, you're deeply underwater on your investment. Next, let's talk about those tempting promotional financing deals. You see the ads everywhere. 0% APR for 72 months. It sounds like free money, right? But it's not. Often, the cost of that free financing is simply baked into the price of the truck. You might not be able to negotiate the price down as much, or you might miss out on other rebates and incentives that cash buyers would get. Think of it this way. The dealership and the manufacturer have to make their money somewhere. Furthermore, these 0% offers are usually reserved for buyers with flawless top-tier credit scores. The dealership uses these promotions to get you in the door. But once you're there and emotionally invested in a specific truck, they might tell you, oh sorry, you don't quite qualify for the 0% deal. But we can get you into this great 9% loan instead. Suddenly, that affordable payment isn't so affordable anymore and you're paying thousands more in interest. This brings us to one of the most dangerous financial traps, the negative equity cycle. Let's say you've been paying on your truck for 3 or 4 years. You're tired of it. A new model comes out and you want to upgrade. You go back to the dealership, but you still owe, say, $30,000 on a truck that's now only worth $25,000. You have $5,000 of negative equity. What does the dealer do? They don't tell you to wait. They say, no problem. We'll just roll that $5,000 you still owe into the loan for your new $80,000 truck. So now, you're not financing an $80,000 truck. You're financing an $80,000 loan for a truck that's instantly worth less than $80,000. You start your new loan already deeper in the hole than you were before. This creates a terrifying debt spiral where people are perpetually paying for cars they don't even own anymore, sometimes rolling debt from 2 or 3 previous vehicles into their current loan. Of course, none of this would work without some powerful psychological manipulation. Car companies, and especially truck manufacturers, are masters of marketing. They don't just sell you a vehicle. They sell you an identity. Trucks are marketed as symbols of strength, freedom, rugged individualism, and capability. You're not just buying a tool to haul lumber. You're buying a lifestyle. You're the tough, dependable person who can handle anything. This emotional attachment is incredibly powerful. It makes buyers bypass the logical, financial part of their brain. When you feel that a specific truck is a part of who you are, you'll justify almost any cost to get it. The dealership becomes a stage where your identity is affirmed, and the price tag becomes a secondary detail in the pursuit of that feeling. You're not making a financial decision. You're making an emotional one. So, where does the money for these massive monthly payments actually come from? This is where it gets really sad. Lifestyle sacrifices and budget gymnastics. To make $1,000 a month truck payment work, people rearrange their entire lives. They might move into a smaller, cheaper apartment. They'll take on a second job or work overtime, sacrificing family time and personal well-being. Vacations are canceled. Dining out becomes a thing of the past. Contributions to savings and retirement accounts dwindle to zero. In more extreme cases, people start borrowing from their future to finance their present. They might take out a 401k loan, crippling their retirement savings. They might rack up credit card debt to cover other monthly expenses because the truck payment eats up so much of their income. They are literally sacrificing their long-term financial security for a rapidly depreciating asset that sits in their driveway. And let's not forget the phenomenon of multiple vehicles. It's not uncommon to see a household with 2 adults and 3 or even 4 vehicles. That shiny new truck isn't the daily driver. It's the weekend toy. So on top of the massive truck loan, they're also paying for another loan, plus insurance, maintenance, and fuel for multiple cars. The costs compound, creating an immense and constant drain on the household's finances. Let's put this all together and look at the true cost of ownership. Imagine a $55,000 truck. It seems high, but that's pretty standard these days. Let's say you get a 7-year loan at a 6% interest rate. Your payment is around $800 a month. Over those 7 years, you'll pay about $67,000 just in principal and interest. But that's not the whole story. Let's add in insurance, which for a new truck can easily be $200 a month. That's another $16,800. Then there's fuel. Let's be conservative and say $250 a month. That's $21,000. And maintenance, tires, oil changes, repairs, let's budget another $5,000 over 7 years. When you add it all up, that $55,000 truck has actually cost you around $110,000 over 7 years. And after all that time and all that money, what's the truck worth? Maybe, if you're lucky, $15,000. That's a $95,000 loss. It's a massive wealth-destroying machine. This is where we need to talk about opportunity cost. What could you have done with that money instead? Imagine if instead of a $1,000 truck payment, you invested that money in a simple index fund. Over 7 years, you could have a significant nest egg growing and compounding for your future. The money spent on the truck is gone forever. The money invested could have been the foundation for real financial freedom. So how does everyone afford these trucks? They don't. It's an illusion. It's a combination of dangerously long loans, deceptive financing, powerful marketing that preys on our emotions, and drastic lifestyle sacrifices. People are stretched to their absolute financial limit, living paycheck to paycheck with no savings and a mountain of debt, all for an image. They're trading future security for present status. Next time you see one of those giant, gleaming trucks, don't feel jealous. Instead, maybe feel a little bit of concern, because behind that shiny exterior might be a person or a family who is under an incredible amount of financial stress. Understanding these traps is the first step to avoiding them yourself and making financial choices that build real, lasting wealth, not just the appearance of it. Thanks for watching. If this video opened your eyes, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content that helps you navigate the complex world of personal finance. See you next time.